Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am back to talk about a new to me, I don't know how new they are onto the market, but they're new to me, indie house out of the UK called Belle Senteur. And oh my gosh, you guys, am I super excited to talk about these. I've just been on a roll with testing amazing fragrances lately, and these are no exception. So I do know that affordability is very important to a lot of you. So I am very happy to say that these are incredibly affordable fragrances. So the full-size fragrances are priced at about $49, or just over $48, I believe, for a 1 ounce bottle of perfume, which I think is really, really affordable, especially because these are really, really nice quality fragrances and they're super long lasting, just really gorgeous fragrances. So anyways, I just wanted to tell you what the price point was up front, because I realize that when I do these videos, a lot of times I even mention the price, which of course is important to people. So another thing that I loved about this house right from the get-go was they sent a little handwritten postcard in the mail. They were very open in writing that they wanted my honest opinions, which just means the world to me when I'm working with a company, to feel like I can, give my really honest opinions. And I just like that. I just like it when people are open like that and say they want honest opinions. They're not. So anyways, with all that being said, let's jump right into the fragrances. The first one that I have to share with you is called Alpha Pink. I love the packaging. I think the packaging on these is so pretty. I'm such a big fan of cardboard. Such a big fan, not only because it is earth friendly and biodegradable, but I just think it looks aesthetic and pretty. I love the pink label on this one. I love the font. Everything about this packaging is really beautiful. And then there's a short little description on the back. It says, "I am Alpha, bold and beautiful. I unfold greatness with my presence." Yeah, so I just think it's really, really pretty. Very beautiful packaging. And this is what the actual bottle looks like. And I love the packaging of the bottle. Yeah, the bottle is really, really beautiful. It's got the name of the fragrance on the front in kind of a raised silver lettering, which is really, really beautiful. I love it's like an ombre bottle. So it's like darker pink at the top, and then it fades into like a very light pink to clear ombre down as you go. And it's just beautiful. Really, really pretty bottles. And then of course you've got a wood lid with their little symbol on the top, with a little bee on the top for Belle Senteur. Really, really pretty. I just think that the bottle is very well done. It's very aesthetically pleasing, very pretty. So Alpha Pink, when I was reading the notes of all of the fragrances, this one, I had an idea of what this was gonna smell like before I ever even got my nose on it. This one has amber and saffron and I believe a salted caramel note. And so I had a feeling it was going to have a kind of Baccarat Rouge 540 scent profile, and it definitely does. It's beautiful though. It's just a touch softer than Baccarat Rouge 540, maybe even just a hair sweeter, but it's more well-rounded. I know that some people don't like Baccarat Rouge 540 because it can be kind of, I don't know, it can be a lot. This one is that without being so much. It's not like so sweet and so almost powdery smelling. A lot of people think that Baccarat Rouge 540 smells medicinal because it's so intense. This does not have that. It's just a really beautiful fragrance. This one, I had kind of been over the Baccarat Rouge 540 profile for a while, and I'm starting to kind of get back on the train. As soon as I smelled this one and tested it, It's good. So if you're looking for a really good alternative, this is even less expensive than Ariana Grande Cloud. So, and I feel like you're supporting, you know, a small business. Like, for a fragrance that smells like this, it's incredible. And it lasts forever. This is one of those fragrances that you will only ever have to apply this once. I never had to reapply, not a single time. It is one of those fragrances that you can just spray on in the morning and you know you're going to smell amazing all day. It's just a really, really beautiful one. So if you like that kind of scent profile, a Baccarat Rouge 540 kind of scent profile, and you want a very affordable version of it, here you go. It is called Alpha Pink. Okay, this next one. So this one is called Bolenlay, I think is how you pronounce that, Bolenlay. Really, really, and again with this bottle, this one is the same kind of ombre bottle, but it's like a kind of a taupe color. It's really, really beautiful. And then you can see where they engraved my name on the top of the lid. Yeah, it's so neat. They engraved my name on the top of the lid, and then it's 1/22. So the date. Really, really neat. Yeah, it's beautiful. Okay, Bolenlay. This one is gorgeous. This is a Middle Eastern style smelling fragrance. So I'm sorry, I just want to stop and make a little correction here. When I back at the website, these fragrances are $45. They're not $48, they're $45. So I thought it was neat. The word Bolenlay means find wealth at home, which is like my favorite place in the world. So that one, just the name of it speaks to me. So this one, again, this is an oud based fragrance, or a garwood, which is oud. And it's got vanilla and amber and musk and caramel again. This would be a great beginner oud for somebody, and it smells so much more expensive than $45. Like, seriously, it smells, you could find something on Lucky Scent that is a $300 bottle of niche fragrance from, you know, a house like Xerjoff or Montal or something like that. Could easily rival any of those. It smells incredibly expensive. When I saw the prices of these, I was like amazed. That's exactly what this smells like. This smells like it could be a Montal fragrance. I just went through a whole Montal discovery kit and tested a bunch of things. And that was exactly what I thought of when I smelled this, because it's just incredible. It smells like a very high quality niche oud fragrance. Oh, I love it so much. So anyways, that one is called Bolenlay, and it's just a great, I think it would be a great beginner oud for anybody. It's sweet, it's decadent smelling, it's woody. The oud is definitely the star of the show in this one, and it's just beautiful. So anyways, that one is called Bolenlay. And then they also sent a little discovery kit, which comes in this super cute little, like it's like a burlap material. I just really like all the materials that they used. Everything seems it all just seems very natural, and I don't know, I really like it. I like a natural aesthetic like that, so it really speaks to me. Okay, so we have got 4 little scents here, and yeah, and I also do want to say that on their website, when you order a bottle of perfume, there is an option to have a name and a date engraved in the lid, which I think is such an amazing little touch, especially for the price. So for $45, you can get a really beautiful, high quality, personalized bottle of fragrance. Okay, so the next fragrance we're going to talk about is one called Diosa, and this is Diosa is a rose and oud and praline. It's got some geranium, again, some amber, I believe some cedar wood. But it's going to be, or it is predominantly an oud and rose fragrance. And when I first looked at the notes on this one, I thought for sure it was going to smell like oud bouquet because of that oud and rose combination, and praline. It shares a lot of notes in common with oud bouquet from Lancome. But I love this one so much more. I'm not the biggest fan of oud bouquet, but this one I love because the rose in this is so much more dominant than the oud or anything else. The rose is very dominant, and it's a very beautiful, realistic, fresh rose note. It doesn't get overpowered by the oud. Now, after it does dry down, and I experience this both on paper and on my skin, as this dries down, the oud does kind of start to peek out. But it never dominates the rose, which is what I appreciate about it so much, because I find that happens a lot with a rose and an oud combination in fragrance. A lot of the time the oud tends to overpower the rose, and then I'm just left with like a sweet oud fragrance and the rose just kind of gets lost. That doesn't happen with this one. The oud does start to come out and become a little bit more prominent, but it never overpowers the rose. It's not overly sweet either. It's much more fresh smelling with just a hint of sweetness. It's gorgeous. This is probably one of my favorite like rose and oud combination fragrances that I've smelled in a long time. Just because the rose in this is so well done. It's such a beautiful, bright, fresh, very, very slightly sweet, and very, very slightly green rose. It's beautiful. So anyways, that one is called Diosa. I just thought that one was absolutely beautiful. Such a beautiful oud and rose fragrance. Okay, the next one we have is called Opulence. This is another rose and oud fragrance, but this one has, it does have the amber, but this one has some other notes in it. It's got something in it called armoire, which I knew I was going to get that wrong. It's got leather in it. Oh my gosh. And even though it does share some notes with the one that we just spoke about, Diosa, it is 180 degrees different. Yeah, it's way different than Diosa. This one has something very herbal smelling, and I'm pretty sure it's that armoire note. This one has a very prominent grapefruit note in it as well. It gives it this vibrant, crisp, citrus quality to it that hangs around too. It's not one of those, it's not a situation where the citrus totally goes away. It's only in the top and then it completely goes away. It always is kind of there in the background, this really beautiful, fresh, juicy grapefruit note. It's also got saffron in it, which I don't get a lot of the saffron. I think what I'm smelling the most, I'm not super familiar with armoire, but I think that's what I'm getting, or what is most prominent to my nose. And it's beautiful. It adds this almost green herbaceous quality to it. And mixed with the grapefruit, it's just beautiful. I'm not a big fan of leather in fragrance, but the leather in this is so well blended, you wouldn't even know. It doesn't smell like a leather couch. It doesn't smell, yeah, it definitely doesn't. It's just blended beautifully, and it doesn't smell like leather. I wouldn't even know that, yeah, I wouldn't even know that there was leather in this had I not read the notes. I might have, well, yeah, I might have guessed that there was a little bit of leather in this because it adds this really rich, almost softness. But yeah, and as this one dries down, you really don't get rose until it starts to dry down. And then the rose just barely peeks out with the grapefruit. This is not oud heavy at all. This is another one where the oud is just balanced so beautifully. It adds a little bit of wittiness to it, but without going overboard, without the oud overtaking the entire fragrance. It's beautiful. I mean, yeah, it's just a really nice fragrance. If you were into, this one is super unisex too. I think they're all unisex to me. I honestly feel like anybody could wear any of these. But this one is particularly great for anybody. It's just beautiful. I think that this is the one that lasted the least amount of time on my skin. But when I say that, I mean it actually just started to wear a little bit closer to the skin. It didn't project for quite as long as the others, but it was still there all day. Like I could still smell it. It's beautiful. Yeah, I really like that one. So anyways, that one is called Opulence, and it's such a stunning fragrance. So it looks like all of these fragrances were released in October of 2020, so they have been around for a couple of years at this point. I'm just first hearing because I'm in the States and we always hear about everything last. In the perfume world, I feel like we hear about everything last. Okay, so this next one we have is called, I believe it's pronounced Khalifa. And this is another, this is rose. This is another, it's got rose and oud, and this one's got some saffron as well as some cypriol in it. It's got some vanilla and some jasmine and sandalwood. I will, of course, have all of the notes on the screen for you. And though it does share a lot of the same notes as the others, it smells completely different. Like, you would go through and see, oh, these all have rose and oud in them, or, yeah, but they all smell completely different. To me, the cypriol is very, very prominent in this one. It's almost got like a menthol quality to it, where it's got that, it's like a, yeah, it's like a mentholated type, or it's like a mentholated aspect to it, where it's cool smelling. It gives it a freshness. It gives it like a fuzziness almost. As this one dries down, the vanilla really starts to come out, and that is my favorite. When I love this one in the dry down. The cypriol is a little bit different smelling at first with this one. But as this one dries down and the vanilla starts to peek out and it starts to sweeten up a little bit, oh my gosh, it's just beautiful. You also get the sandalwood. It starts to, yeah, as this one dries down, the sandalwood really starts to come out. And then I almost get Guerlain Samsara vibes from this one. I mean, I really do, but this one is more potent smelling than Samsara. And that cypriol note is just outstanding in this one. And it really does. It smells like Guerlain Samsara, but if you added a cypriol note to it. It's beautiful. I mean, really, really beautiful. I can't, and I felt like this too as I was going through smelling all of these fragrances. Like, I couldn't believe my nose, like what my nose was getting compared to the price. These all smell incredibly expensive. They smell like incredibly expensive niche fragrances. And I just can't believe it for $45. Like, wow. They're amazing. And it's funny because when I first got them, I was like, oh gosh, I hope these aren't super, super expensive. Because I know I've been talking about a lot of expensive fragrances lately. And so when I saw the price on them, I was super stoked because I know a lot of you are going to be able to get on this website and look through everything. I've got a discount code for you, so it's going to make them even more affordable. Yeah, so I'm just super, oh gosh. This is beautiful. As this one dries down even further, it started to remind me of something from my childhood. It almost, this is going to sound crazy because it doesn't smell like a Cabbage Patch Kid, but it's got that same kind of cozy softness that a Cabbage Patch Kid smells like. If you guys remember that smell from when you were a kid, this has got that same kind of smell, but of course this is much more intense, and it's not soft and kitty smelling like that is. It's just got that softness to it that brings out some nostalgia for me. I love it. It's so good. This was one of my favorites, which is funny because when I read the notes on this one, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to love that one. And I think this ended up being, yeah, this one really ended up being one of my favorites. So anyways, that one is called Khalifa, and it is gorgeous. And then last but not least, we have this one called Seratonin, which I loved the name of this one. I thought it was really, really neat. So it's called Seratonin. Really, really, this one is very beautiful. Oh my gosh. This one is, this one is orange blossom and tuberose. It's got some honey in it. This one, it's got some vetiver in it. It's also got some amber in it, as well as a touch of patchouli. You really don't get a ton of the patchouli, but just a touch. As well as some musk. Oh my gosh, this one is so beautiful though. This one is all about that orange blossom and tuberose combination though. And it is gorgeous. This is like, oh my gosh, this is what you want. This is what I want in spring and summer. It's like a cozy, warm weather fragrance. It's like, I mean, it's tuberose and orange blossom dripping in honey. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. And it's, again, very well blended. The orange blossom is a little bit more prominent than the tuberose. But the tuberose gives a little bit of sweetness to the orange blossom, but without overpowering it. A lot of times tuberose can really take over a fragrance. But it doesn't in this. And there's something so beautifully perfumey smelling about this one. Like in the best way possible. Oh my gosh, it is incredible. This is the only one that I haven't tested on my skin yet. I'm going to give this one a really good wear test. And if I fall in love with this one the way I have all of the others, I will definitely be purchasing a full bottle of this. It's so beautiful. This is, if you love tuberose, if you love orange blossom, this is a honey that I think is safe for people that honey doesn't work for usually. Yeah, as this one dries down, the honey really starts to peek out. And it is so beautiful. This was another one that I I don't know. Sometimes I don't love an orange blossom. It depends on how the orange blossom is done. But sometimes I don't love an orange blossom, and sometimes I don't love a tuberose. They're both notes that they have to be done in a certain way for me to enjoy them. They can't be too overpowering. They are, I mean, this perfume is like perfection though. And again, I cannot believe my nose. Like, I cannot believe that this is a $45 perfume, you guys. Like, cannot believe it. It smells so much more expensive. And I've never smelled anything like this one. This one called Seratonin, I've never smelled anything like it before. I've never smelled this combination of notes done in this way. It's incredible. If there are any that, and I haven't, let me see if they have a discovery set. Oh my gosh, you guys, and some of their fragrances are $41. So depending on which one, they're anywhere between $41 and $45. I'm telling you, which is an absolute steal. So anyways, you guys, those are some fragrances sent over from Belle Senteur out of the UK. Thank you so much to Belle Senteur for sending them over and letting me get my nose on your amazing fragrances. I have thoroughly enjoyed playing with these and smelling them and testing them. And I cannot wait to test Seratonin on my skin, to do a full wear test. I just know I'm going to fall in love. So they did include this little postcard here, and it says that you get a 10% discount off of your order, off of your first order, with the code SAMPLE10. So if you guys are interested, definitely head over to their website, check them out. I don't think that anybody would be disappointed in the slightest with this house, because the quality for the price is incredible. Yeah, I feel very confident recommending them, knowing that you're going to love what you purchase. So anyways, again, use the code SAMPLE10. Let me hold it up so you guys can see it. Yes, use the discount code SAMPLE10 to get 10% off your first order. These are already amazingly affordable fragrances. So the fact that you can get an even further discount off of the price of these is amazing. I do hope that you guys definitely check them out. I've got more that I will definitely be picking up myself. So anyways, you guys, I do hope that you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.